Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynast finishing his cookies from last week, and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hey, gang.
Wow, that was a lot.
Hey.
I just want to. I committed to the bit so much. I actually wore this shirt last week. That's how much I committed to the bit.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
How are those Girl Scout cookies, by the way?
Well, I ate 1.5 last week, and I just had one now. And there's a big bag of them over there. So, because I can only eat so many cookies in a week. So
Now, I am curious as to how the cost of Girl Scout cookies equates to general inflation, and what is the cost of a box of Girl Scout cookies?
Well, so my granddaughter was selling them,
Okay.
so they had to be
Does
shipped.
she drive a Range Rover?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, no. So they had to be shipped here, so that was an additional cost. It was like a tariff within a tariff.
Wait a minute, they ship them now? That was like
No,
the whole thing,
that's how
right?
we've gotten ours.
No. She bought them and then she shipped them to us, I think. Or
I gotcha.
maybe you just order them and they send them to you. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I remembered like them, the whole, you get your, little Red Rider wagon and you walk around the neighborhood and you deliver the cookies. But no, that's all right. All right. I'm sorry.
What everybody is now is bug their coworkers at work, and and then,
that's a fact.
And then
yes,
they do this other thing. I think where like I see it all the time, where they'll go to like a shopping mall and set up, or outside a grocery store.
Oh my God! And harass you.
Well,
especially the parents.
Not really
the parents.
I mean, look, if they're it's such a touchy society, but if they're cute and little girls and they're Girl Scouts, obviously.
I'm going to back up and rewind the last two sentences you said. At least twice. Anyway, go ahead.
We're so getting sued. God damn it, Tyson.
I will give you the same thing with Boy Scouts. Some young Boy Scouts with their kerchiefs.
Just keep digging, buddy.
That's enough for me. I don't need the mom to come in and like start going, like for me. But yeah. I'm
on Hayes Post.
Happening. I'm a sucker for like a little community thing, like when I was
I am too. I think it's adorable, but I will say they've been hanging out outside King Soopers, our grocery store in Colorado, and it is like a blockade. You can't even get in until you look them in the eye, and I'm like, I already bought some cookies or popcorn or whatever the fuck they're selling from you last week, guys, and they're like, oh, I don't, playing dumb.
You should fuck with them like to an even greater extent. It's like, you don't remember? Like, we talked for like 15 minutes about it.
You gave me your number? I thought we were going to hang out this weekend.
I like that. I like that very much.
That is great. That's smart. That's use that tactic.
I will say one time Matt Smith told me that he's so averse to those Santas ringing the bells outside of a thing that he will literally not go into the grocery store.
I've done that before. Yeah, I've at least once gotten up and I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it because
I totally understand. Avoid at all costs. Yep.
You know what I learned? Like I didn't realize, and maybe I'm an idiot, and that's possible, but I didn't realize those guys are like paid to do that. Like it's not like a volunteer job. Like,
that's my retirement job, man.
For real? I didn't realize that either until now.
It's Santa adjacent, so when you're not at the mall, you can spend your off hours at the bell ringing. Yeah.
Is that for the Salvation Army?
It is.
Yes. Yeah.
And we kind of all know that's corrupt. Like that's not a good.
They have some sort of a Chick-fil-A adjacent issues, if you know what I'm saying. They're not so down with the gays. But
they'll take their fabulous clothing, but they won't do anything.
They will.
Oh, that's about it.
Yeah. No. Oh, my point. Anyway, I forget what it was. It doesn't matter. It'll come up again. I could hear the AI going, Tyson doesn't know. Host number 2 doesn't know what he's talking about a lot of times. Still, I wake up in the middle of the night hearing that.
I did.
I did let it
Google it.
slip today at work that I used AI outside of work for my podcast, and then that went down a whole dark road
Oh
where
dear.
I had to make up a fake name of our show. So
That's awesome. Just hide that shit. That's it.
Oh, so it wasn't so much the AI you were ashamed of as us, which is
no, I'm ashamed of myself. You guys are great. I just fly off
oh
the
no.
handle sometimes, and I don't want people to really know me
I
at
understand.
this
I
job.
understand.
Like, we're friendly. Maybe we'd grab a beer. Most of them. Some of them are friends. Some of them not so much.
I
You know
agree.
how
I
it is.
agree. This
Yeah.
is a
Just in case
podcast.
they find the
Like,
podcast.
yeah, it's exclusively for strangers and non-work friends. I think that is our core audience right there.
That's a caption underneath. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, that leads me to an interesting point. I have this job coach, and she's like helping me try to find a job. She's doing great. Anyway, I like her. She's nice. She's a mama bear. We mentioned this in pre-show. Mama chupacabra. The jokes that make no sense to no one listening. Anyway, she said that you should have 500 plus connections on LinkedIn, and I was like,
Oh.
really? And she's like, yeah, because after 500, it just says 500 plus. And I was like, I've never worked with that many people. And she's like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Everything is all algorithm and bullshit trying to find a job now. It's really crazy. It's just nuts, because apparently they run an AI on your LinkedIn page. Some companies do, to see if it meets certain metrics and whatnot.
And that's one of the metrics to meet? Really? Okay.
According to the good people at blah blah blah, where I work, or where I'm.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yes, yeah, very
familiar.
Good. Blah. What was it? Was it Bob Blah's Blah Blog? Anyway, sorry. That's
Blah blog.
Yeah.
Nice.
Deep
that is correct.
development.
Yes.
Anyway,
miss that show.
So I've just been reaching out to like randos, like anybody I ever met in my own entire life. I'm like, oh, hey, do you remember me? I used to have a different haircut. What are you doing? Just connect. It's weird.
Well, it doesn't need to be like a Facebook friend request or anything like literally like, hey, remember when we were in a band together? Or hey, doesn't matter. I say that, but I have so many connections because of being a recruiter. It was like part of my thing. When LinkedIn, this was back in the Stone Age when I started, and you had like actual portfolios for 2 years, and then LinkedIn became a thing, and I was like, this is so much easier. But I have tons of connections. So maybe I'll just reach out to some of those Tyson and be like, hey, one of my best friends is going to be reaching out to you. Just connect with them. It's all good.
Hey, most people connect, like Matt. I connected with Levi Ferguson of all people.
Who's the Erickson?
No, Ferguson, like Levi from Bipolar.
Yeah, it was Erickson, wasn't it?
Levi. Maybe it was. Yeah. Or maybe I just connected with some random person that I thought was the same name.
You very well may have.
I could have.
You very well may have.
I hope so.
Your invite.
He accepted it because everybody's facing that 500.
Yeah, I think if that is the day punk rock dies, when Levi Erickson accepts my LinkedIn invitation. That is when we have completely and utterly given up on.
I was on another podcast for a second with Marshall, my good friend and ex-bandmate, and we had Levi on. Actually, it's
I've always meant to listen to that. I should do that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I should do that.
That's great. Did I do the cookie joke? Okay, good. All right. Now,
you did. We saw it. We heard it. Well done.
I thought I would get a better response, but whatever. We'll see how the people at home react. So how was your week?
I'm gonna be like, thank God he finished that pack. I was
super
pins and needles. Yeah.
They're $6 a box, by the way, which isn't terrible.
It's not terrible. That's what I was thinking. It's like somewhere between 6 and 8.
I know. The problem is I'm still old. Is like I remember everything being $2 or $3. Like box of cookies, $3. Super value meal.
Think Oreos are still like $3-4, right? Unless inflation has
probably
run amok with those.
I don't want to take it out on the Girl Scouts of America, but if you go to Walmart, they make exact copies of all these cookies
They
year
do. I
round.
didn't know that. Wow.
I did not know that either.
$1.50
Can
a
they
box.
do that?
$1.50. Thin Mints, stuff I was eating earlier. Like, yeah, they can because it's generic.
Wow.
It's generic
Shit.
food.
Wow. That's a genius idea, but it's fucking mean.
It is
That
mean.
is
I
so
like it.
mean.
I like it, but it's so mean.
But
Wow.
yeah, no, it's super cheap and they taste exactly the same. So
Huh.
Shame on you, Walmart. Shame on you.
I don't know. Well,
They should
Yeah. Well,
make a big fat donation to Girl Scouts of America every year.
they should.
Just to make
Actually, a
that
lot
shit.
of Girl Scouts of America end up getting jobs at Walmart, so it's fine.
So it comes full circle, really.
Is there a question? Because I'm inquisitive. Like, is there a Eagle Scout equivalent in the Girl Scouts?
That's a good
Oh.
question. I don't
That's
know.
That is
what
a good. I don't know. I was not a Girl Scout. I was not
Yeah.
allowed to become a Girl Scout.
I would love
It's
it
a
if it was called.
whole different story.
Oh yeah, I want to hear that. But I would love the idea. I do want to hear that. I would love the idea if the Grandmaster name for Girl Scouts was Dame. Dame Susie Johnson. That would be great, wouldn't it? Like
yeah.
Oh, why not?
Dame.
Why not?
Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I wish I knew, but
I know. I'm sure I
unfortunately-
could Google it, but it's one of those things I like to keep a mystery. Just
You know
like,
what?
there's some
When you
things
guys are
that-
talking about your week, I'll Google it. And say.
Well, we can.
All right,
we
go
can-
for it,
we can,
Tyson. Smith, what'd you do this week? What's been going on?
Not a whole lot. It's been a little colder, a little rainier here, but
That's
a
not good.
couple things of note. Kathy, you got you all right, bud?
Shut up.
Tyson's having a time.
Kathy's television finally bit the dust after I think like
Oh.
12 years, and so she always she always talked about being sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of she's saying it right. She's like, "You idiot! It's this, and I can't think about it." Big TV bias, right? Like
Yeah.
words have gotten smaller. You play video games; it's harder
Sure.
to see things. So anyway, her long lived and beloved TV fought a good life. Watched a lot of television on it. Finally, decided to go to a better place. Back to North Korea and South Korea. Sorry, Samsung, South Korea. Sorry.
R.I.P. Kathy's TV.
We got a nice big new television. It's been very nice.
Ooh.
So that was fun. Got to set that up.
Another
Played-
Samsung or a different
Another Samsung.
brand?
Another
Okay.
Samsung. Yeah,
I
stick
love
with
Samsung TVs.
I'm a big fan. I had a
Yeah,
couple
same.
die prematurely that I was a little disappointed about, but in general, big fan. And then,
Same.
speaking of big events in our lives, we went to a dog bar yesterday. It was kind of rainy, and so there was this. It was actually really cool. It's this place in Westfield, Indiana, which is a suburb of Indianapolis, and they had really kind of cool. There's kind of a big indoor seating area with a big playroom and just kind of a concrete floor, and there's a bar where they do the first time actually doing this, which is kind of insane to think about. But where you pay by the ounce, which is really fun until you pay for it. But but it's like it is kind of a novel concept. But
chicken wings? What are you ordering by the ounce? Is soda?
No, like beer and wine.
Beer,
Yeah, it's like that. They had like canned beer, but then they had like but it was fun. No,
Did they have like a beer wall?
Yeah,
Smith?
that's what it was.
Okay,
That's what
yeah.
it was, like a wall that you walk
That'll
up
get
beer,
you.
and then there were like
It's gotten me a few times. Yeah.
the last like 4 were like wine. I guess they have these for wine too now. Still,
Wine.
yeah, but no, it was fun. He loved it. We were there for a couple hours, ran around. Other dogs, shockingly quiet. Like, it was weird. Like, you would think that there's just like barking all over the place, but like much quieter than like a kindergarten classroom. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say that.
No, you're
That's surprising.
I've been to many of those things, and they don't bark. Really, it's weird.
It's weird. Like there was one dog that came and showed up, and like he was a barker, but he got it. Like after like 15 minutes, he's like, I don't have to bark. He's like, I'm the only ass here talking, and he shut up. And like, no, it was fun. It was fun. So we just sat and watched how we play around with other random dogs, and he like gets crushes on other dogs, and then like so he'll get like obsessed with a dog, but it only lasts for like 7 minutes, and then that dog will be like, "What the hell, Howie? Like I thought we were sniffing each other's nuts 2 minutes ago, and now." And then he'll have moved on to like, because he's all about the new dog that shows up, and it was fun. It was fun. All ran the gamut of all sizes of dogs: little dogs, blind dogs, giant shepherd sheep dogs. Like it was cool. A big like outdoor area, like a couple acres outside that was all like astroturf, so they could run around.
Did y'all meet some cool people because
Yeah.
of this? Yeah.
Well, so there were quite a few more dogs than there were people when we first got there, because they also offered this as kind of like where you could kind of drop off your dog for the afternoon and pay some dollars.
Okay.
Have the wolf-ary, if you didn't hear that, the wolf-ary.
Come again. Okay.
Yeah.
So clever.
Who keeps a peace amongst the dogs, and they walk around with like this little like. I can only describe it as a boat oar. I'm guessing it's intended to separate the dogs in a violent. Yeah. So
that's cool. I like those
cool.
places. I like those places. Like there's a place called Barcade here.
I like that. Is it
Barcade?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It has video games and it has a dog. So it's
holy shit. Smith, you need to look for one in Indy. That's amazing.
I should build one.
Oh, yeah.
Barcade. I like that.
I'll throw some money in that.
That'd be fun. I would do that.
That's a great idea.
I know. It's like that whole sip and spin kind of. I think they're really the creators of this. Like, hey, let's just take two businesses that probably wouldn't succeed on their own and make one business that probably won't succeed on its own.
Probably will limp along for a long time.
Right, but people will have fun. Your community will get written up in the local paper. You can put that on your wall.
True. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's really entrepreneurship's all about. Just right up in Hayes Daily.
Get all up in that. Yeah.
What if we combine nachos with headline news? Yeah, but it's an art, right? It's hard.
It is an art. It is an art.
It is. Yeah.
It is an art. I think I'm going to have to hit the chat GPT after this and see what other combination businesses we have not touched upon yet.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
I'm going to do that. I'll report back because I'm curious
to see
what other things we can merge into. Yeah.
I'll leverage my book collection.
Commerce. You. There you go. Bookstore and methadone clinic.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. It's like, hey, I got to read something. I got to read something. TV is too much. Yeah. How about you, Doss? How's it going with you?
It's going good. What have I been up to? Not a whole lot. I dyed my hair pink.
I was gonna say, was that a reveal? Is that why you were in the
Not really. I was exercising outside, and I always wear a hat because it's fucking hot out, and we're closer to the sun here, so that's kind of why. But thank you, Jasper at Trivium Salon here it's in Louisville, but he's my buddy. He did it. He went to Vidal Sassoon in London and got all these ideas. So he's always like, hey, can we do pink? And I'm like, yes. I don't have to be in San Francisco for 3 months, so go for it. But yeah, that was fun. And then Jonas and I did a bunch of house stuff this weekend. So pulling weeds, not fun.
No.
I ended up getting a rash on this arm. It was just bad. The allergies were I just don't enjoy that part. But yard work is kind of interesting and relaxing in its own way. Like you started out and you're like, fuck my life. And then when you see your yard not full of weeds anymore, it's like, oh, I did something. This feels great. Gratifying was the word I was trying to get to. So that was fun. And then we also cleaned out the garage. Also fun. But we were productive. So no crazy shows, no baseball games. It was all adulting for us over here.
My dad got so mad. I'll get to this in a minute, but I went home this last weekend, and my dad
got mad at me.
He got mad at us collectively.
Oh,
okay.
Because
he was like,
that's not good.
Listen, baseball is scored by runs, not points. So if you had
I did, Rick. Okay, PR director Rick. Talking to you. I apologize.
He was,
I know I said that a couple times. It is
he's,
runs. You
it
are
was the
correct,
first
sir.
thing he said to me. He said, "Hello, son." He was like, baseball are runs on points. I was like, sorry. I don't
There,
know.
my friend Laura ripped my ass. There were a couple others. You are not alone, sir. We will button that up, and by we I mean me mostly.
Well, too. I think I said points.
I may have just gone along with the crowd. So yeah, I may have slipped too. Like
I was
Everybody's doing it.
everybody's
Situation.
doing
I
it.
was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Dad, I don't have a golden glove. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't, I'm like,
Like,
sorry.
Dad, get out of my room. Like, oh man, say what I want.
Hey, I'm gonna take that Tony. Well, no, sorry, Troy Aikman poster off the wall, Dawson. If you don't shape up about sports,
Oh.
Troy.
Speaking of sports, I did see something great today. Do you guys remember the glory days of the KU Jayhawks by chance
Well, I
back
mean,
in the 90s?
the argument that they're still there, but go
There's
ahead.
okay, that's true. I'm gonna get yelled at for that too. Sorry, Uncle Gene. Anyway, uh Jacques Vaughn. Do you remember the point guard Jacques Vaughn?
I
The name
do.
sounds
I heard
familiar.
this.
Yeah.
I heard this today. Yeah,
He
go.
was just hired as assistant coach for KU Jayhawks.
Yeah,
That's big news.
it's because
Big
he
news.
was a coach for the NBA, and he's going back to college, which is kind
Oh
of
really?
a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, very
I
cool.
I've been listening to a lot of sports radio. I think I talked about this last week because I like to listen to grown men cry about dumb shit. Anyway, but like,
It is
I,
kind of fun. I have been listening to a lot more of it.
I don't. It's just stupid. Like these grown men, like they have to for 4 hours. They have to have something somewhat interesting to talk about, and
Yeah.
I always think that's interesting because we kind of had a talk show. Dan and I did. We played music, but we also had to talk, and so you have to fill up time. Like or whatever. And of course, that sort of bled over, unfortunately, for the listenerships of the basement tape, where I would just go on and on instead of like we would go on and on instead of just fucking like playing music. But anyway, yes,
What
uh,
did you do, Tice? What
I did no adulting, and
nice. Good for you.
I was on the way home last week, and my granddaughter Kaylee called. She's 7, and
Wow.
she's got
Oh
a
my god.
watch that she can make phone calls on. And she called me, and I go, "Hi, Kaylee." I was driving, so I turned the phone on the car, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, it's been a while. I just thought I'd call and check in and see how you're doing." And I was like, "Oh, that's very
I
nice."
love little kids.
She was like, "Well, it's been a long time since we talked." And I was like, "That is true." And I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, I'm just hanging out, blah blah blah." And I was like, she's like, "I went to a new school." I'm like, "That's great." She went back to the school that she liked previously, and I'm like, "Is your favorite class still recess?" And she giggled and she said yes. And and then uh, she goes, "Well, it's yeah, I gotta go. Recess is almost over." And I'm like, "Jesus Christ." You call me on recess. I was like, "Well, you have a good day," Anyway, this last week we went home to Waukene. We went to the Shiloh Winery, which is south of Boda.
Yes, I
Um,
heard.
I heard you ask if it was like the winery from Schitt's Creek. It is not. It is not.
Did Beth tell you that? I
Yeah,
literally was nervous for you guys. I was like, I don't know about that. Because Jonas and I always see those billboards when we're coming from Colorado to Kansas. And I'm
yeah.
like, I'm not making that bet.
It's actually, they most of their wine they import the grapes in, so
Oh, okay.
so it's not really like
Nice.
a local. Now they have planted some vines there, and that's relatively new. But anyway, and they only have 2 wines that they actually make on site, but they have this other stuff, and it's very lovely. I'm plugging it. It's just nice out there. They've got these beautiful like a banquet hall and a hangout place and just all this kind of stuff. So it was really fun. And then Beth was like, so we we did a flight. We each did a flight and big pours, so that's good. Um,
That is good.
big pours, like they said 2 ounces, but it was way more than that. And
They want you to buy bottles.
they
I've been
did
to a
they
couple in Texas and they're like, tell me
uh,
when. And I'm like, holy shit.
it's like, and so anyway, Dad liked this one, and so Beth went in and bought one. And they were like, "Oh well, let's we're gonna open up a new case because we have a new year, whatever they call it." And then she tasted it and she was like, "That's really good," and it was really good. And then so she bought a bottle for Dad. It was $48, so it's a pretty expensive bottle of wine.
Damn. Okay.
And then she's like, "This is
Better
so
be
good.
good.
This is so good." And I'm like, "Okay, that's great." And she went inside and
Oh shit.
she bought a half case. I was like,
Excellent.
ah,
Nice.
That's how they get you.
no, I know,
I want
I know, I know,
you
I
took
know.
the bait, B.
Yeah, she did. But anyway, that was really nice. And then we went to Rosie's, which is that refurbished place on I-70, which is a bar, grill, and then a hotel that's been refurbished with all the antique stuff. I've talked about this before. So
Yeah.
we went there, and
Your mom's a fan, right?
she's a big fan. So
Yeah.
is
Okay.
Dad. Yeah. And then the rest of the time, aside from getting pizza, which I'm just gonna do a soft plug for the Pizza Hut in Waukene. Do you remember
It's like an old school Pizza Hut, right?
It is. It's like, remember the Pizza Hut that
Okay.
was on Vine?
Vine Street.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
If you want to taste pizza like that again, go to Waukene and order a pizza.
Fuck. We got to do that, you guys.
No, it is. Even Beth was like, "This is like the best." She's like, "This is like having a personal pan pizza in 1983." It's so
Oh
good.
my God. I'm sold.
Okay. All right. We need to do that. Please tell
Yeah.
me they still do the large pitchers of soda. If they still do the large pitchers of soda,
I don't actually know. It was weird because we ordered the pizza. So Dad ordered it online, and then we went there, and they were like, "We didn't get your order." And then my dad saw this guy.
I don't have the internet yet.
Anyway, so the guy, he walked in. I didn't go inside.
Internet? What are you talking
I was
about?
outside
Uh-huh.
with I was outside with Mom's dog Henry, or Mom and Dad's dog Henry, in the pickup, and he walked in, and he said that he saw the manager, who's like a big guy and like maybe in his mid 40s or something like that, was over. He was leaning on the counter in the kitchen,
Taking a nap?
and
Taking a little snooze?
they're like, "Hey, we didn't get his order. Like what's going on?" And the guy stood up and then collapsed, and then
Oh,
Oh dear.
fuck.
and then they tried to pick him up again, and he fell down again, and so I was like, "Oh, Dad just telling me the story." He's like, "Well, we didn't get it," so we went back. He actually ordered the pizza from Plainville. Whoops. So we ordered it from Joaquin again, and my mom made fun of me about this last night. I was like, "Let's go get the pizza. I want to find out if that guy died." And he didn't. He is fine. He said that he was overheated by standing by the ovens. But I think it's probably meth. But anyway,
Oof.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Anyway, that's conjecture, and don't sue me. So anyway, we had pizza that was really good, and then we played bridge the entire time. Like we probably played bridge 9 hours.
Wow.
Jesus.
and
You
we-
guys are fucking maniacs about that.
It's fun. It's a fun game. You have to think a
How do you
lot.
win? How do you win bridge? Because it just continues, right?
It can continue. So you can set limits, but we played like a round robin thing where we traded partners every 4 hands, and then we did 10 rounds over
Okay.
2 days.
Okay.
But there's lots of different ways to do it. One of the funniest things about bridge is that it's hard to score. Something going on, young lady?
Yeah, my cat is in his little catio and I think he's chasing a wasp. I'm about to yell at him.
Yell at him. Anyway, we played.
Sorry, it may happen.
No, that's fine. Uh, he can't hear you when you just mouth the words.
He's looking at me like, what the fuck did I do? Now he knows he's in trouble. Okay. We good.
All right, good. No.
Sorry.
Lebanon lives for another day. And so anyway, so we played a lot of bridge, and it's really interesting. And you play until you're done. So like you just have to stop, and then you get so many points, and that's basically how it works. But the thing is, scoring bridge is very complicated.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I haven't
Yeah.
played it yet. I would like to learn.
It's really fun. Have you ever played pitch or like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like pitch, but like you have to be smart. Like it's
Oh, fuck. Are
very
you guys drinking while you're playing this?
Yeah, a little bit. We were day drinking all
Okay.
the time. We went to the winery, we went to the bar, then we came back and played pitch. By about 10 o'clock at night, like we were making so many mistakes, we were like, we have to stop. This is ridiculous.
This is
Uh,
pointless.
and
Yeah.
then we got up
Okay.
the next morning and played 3 hours, and then went home. So anyway, it's a fun game, and I highly recommend it. People are not learning it now. It's very because it's kind of a hard game to learn, really. But I highly recommend. And there's some apps and stuff to help you deal with it. And pitch it. Oh, sorry, Bridge has this really. This is interesting to me, but probably no one else. Um, has this thing where you go play duplicates. That's what they call it,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
and everybody gets the same hand, and then
Okay.
you have to see if you can do better than the other person based on the same hand that you got.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that in and of itself is like how interesting it is because because bidding, when you bid, it's a secret language. So you'd be like, if you say one club, that could mean I don't have anything, or it could mean I have some clubs. If you say no trump, that means
What
that
if you say all up in the club, bottle full of bub?
that means that you have three hearts. Anyway,
I can't wait to play with you guys and get kicked out of the table.
like the first time I played D&D, I was expelled in 35 minutes. Anyway, yeah.
Wear that as a badge of honor.
Now
Seriously.
I play it every 3 weeks. But anyway, anyway, it was really nice. It was fun, and then Sally's husband's birthday was last night. We went to this place called J. Alexander's, and that was really nice. I don't really know if I have anything else interesting to say about my week.
Well,
I'm
it sounds pretty good.
I'm literally just chat GPTing and LinkedIn all the time now. It's just silly stuff. So anyway,
It'll pay off.
no, it won't. It won't. It's fine. Anyway, yeah. So that's what I did.
Well, hell yeah.
Good
I'm
work,
glad.
Tyson.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Good job on a great week.
We
Smith
had
and I are jealous.
we did have crazy weather here the other night.
You did. You sent photos of hail. I was jealous.
Hail,
Yeah, we got some crazy hail too.
80-mile-an-hour winds. The backyard looked like Florida. You can believe that, and that was fun. Enjoyed that.
Yeah. I
No
like
tor-
a good thunderstorm, honestly. When you're not
Oh God, I love them.
driving in it or
Oh,
camping in it,
yes,
it's
at
fantastic.
home.
Yeah.
Yes, with ready access to a basement, but
right.
you're not
Yes.
there. You're not there. You're close to the basement. You're like, I'm going to see this thing through until I shit myself, and then I go to the basement. It's the way. It's
That
the
is
way.
that is way yeah, and
They are magnificent. I love them. I just
they
love
are yeah.
them.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Same.
I
Yeah.
feel bad, like best kids there in Seattle. They just don't get them. They don't have them up there.
Missing
No,
out.
no. And we have we've had a couple of the worst thunderstorms we've had in years, and
Nothing
they'd be
compared
like,
to back home.
they'd be like
Yeah.
they'd be like the third best for a typical summer in Kansas. So
But
I do miss it.
the mesoscale was so crazy on Monday that our house had a 10% chance of seeing a tornado. That is so high. That is so
That
high.
is high.
That is very high. Yeah.
And so, like,
Jesus.
we were just like, oh, okay. And I'll tell you what I told someone. I don't know. I told it to somebody.
Your wife?
No, I don't think I told her that. I don't want her to have this information, but she's going to hear it. So we've had a house burned down. We lost a bunch of stuff. If our house gets hit by a tornado, I'm going all digital. No more vinyl. No more books.
Bullshit. I'm just
Nothing.
saying it now.
I don't know. That's it. Like if I lose 2 collections in my lifetime, it's like whatever. So
I think that's fair. I think that's yeah.
It's fair, but he's not going to do that.
I think somebody just doesn't want him to have his
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Somebody. I mean, I'll plug it later on Final Destination, but maybe I'm that guy with stuff, like I don't know, but I don't know if you've ever seen Final Destination, but anyway.
I know there's a new one.
There's a new one.
I literally saw it at 1:00 today. So
fun fact about the new one: the blonde in it, I used to babysit back in the day.
No,
Yes, I did.
The girl,
Lana Lori. Yeah.
Well, she's cute.
She's adorable. I have a very funny story about her taking a giant shit in the bathtub uh, back in the day.
Oh,
Can't wait
that's
to tell it to
oh,
Entertainment Weekly.
oh my goodness. Is she from Hayes?
Saving it,
Obviously,
saving it.
obviously
Yeah.
she's from Hayes.
Well, yeah, she grew up in Hayes. Her family, so her mom, Tony, is one of my mom's best friends. She was actually at mom's celebration of life. She had
Oh,
really cool, like, mohawk thing going on with curly hair, like gray, white
Yeah,
curly hair. Yeah,
yeah.
that's her mom. But they live in Iowa City now. But they were a part of our church back in the day. So that's how I got all my babysitting gigs. And Anna was one of three of their kids that I watched when I was like 9 years old. It wasn't good. Like, I shouldn't have been watching kids, that many kids at that age, but I did, and I made some money.
what did
Uh,
you do with the poop?
I took one of her toys to teach her a lesson. I scooped the poop out of the bathtub while I was saying, "This is bad. You shouldn't have done this. You should have told me." And I put it in the toilet. And then she was mad at me and refused to get out of the bathtub until she started to turn blue. Her lips started to turn blue. So I grabbed her, pulled her out, wrapped a bunch of towels around her, like rubbed her down. I was like, "Please don't die."
Yeah, wow.
This is
It's
insight
been
into Dawson babysitting.
That's a, please don't die. I was calling a bluff, but I recant that now.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, to
I've
be
I've got tales, guys. I could write
she's
a little
she's probably
book
still
about babysitting.
she's still. I mean, I'll bet that comes up in therapy with her sometime.
I hope it does. I really do.
You
You
should.
know, I have a lot of traumatic shit that comes up in therapy for me.
Have
So
you emailed her and
join
said
the club.
congratulations
Yeah,
on?
I've messaged her on Instagram. I honestly don't think she remembers me because she's
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, hey, how's it going?" Like, I'm not.
yeah.
I don't like to be that person. Like, remember when? I see that you're famous-ish now. So, will you acknowledge my presence, please? Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
don't.
not a lot of people cleaned up her shit though. I mean, so you're
That
definitely
yeah.
Yeah,
upper tier. I have
Yeah.
that's
to
true.
imagine.
That
I
is
mean,
Yeah,
true.
she may not remember that, but I mean that's kind of a thing, Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember you. Yeah.
And so I used to babysit for a little extra cash occasionally. What did you get paid? Do you remember?
Oh, it was like something terrible.
I
I
got it.
know once I got to the age of 11, I was making like $4 or $5 an hour, which I thought was great. But I think for like Tony and Al, I was making like $2 or $3 an hour.
I
It
was
wasn't
making.
great.
I was when I babysit. I got $1.25 an hour, which is
Okay. That
but
sounds about right.
but I could eat something, in the fridge.
That's what I equated it
There you
to.
go.
I'd
I
Yeah.
be
yeah.
able to go to Taco Tico and get what I want,
I
you
could
know?
molest a kid, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff.
Tyson? Stop! Last week was tentacle porn with a 15-year-old. I thought we
Well,
were over it.
well,
No, we're never over it. But anyway,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
Can't wait to see
Talking
Megan's
about
face
cute
now.
Boy Scouts
Uh,
and Girl Scouts. Let's
yeah,
let's go to headlines. Let's go to
should get
headlines. All
headlines.
right,
Yes.
yes. Headline of the week. Shame on you, sir.
I deserve.
Go.
Heap shame on me, please. So this is from Billboard. I just thought this was interesting. Drummer Josh Freese says the Foo Fighters booted him. No
Oh,
reason given.
yes.
So here's the thing. Josh Freese is one of my favorite drummers of all time. Like he's in the Vandals. He always is on the Replacements reunion shows. He plays on a lot of Paul Westberg solo stuff. He's just an excellent drummer. So the fact that like he got booted and there was no reason given, like is very weird. Because I mean,
They still haven't given a reason to
no,
him of why? Okay.
no, and he's like in my 40 years of 40 years of drumming professionally, I've never been let go from a band.
Wow.
Not angry,
It
just very
sucks.
shocked and disappointed. Well, it's fine. I mean, like I don't know what's going on with Dave, but like anyway, just a fantastic drummer. I was shocked that I mean, when they hired him, I was like, of course, obviously, but so I was a little just thought that was strange.
You think they're gonna have Taylor Hawkins' kid play with them from here on out? You think that has because he's
I
old enough now?
I haven't heard that. I mean, so weird thing about Taylor Hawkins, like Dave met him because he was the drummer for Alanis Morissette on that breakout record that she did.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah, I don't know if he was
Okay.
just a touring guy or whatever, but like, and that is a different record than a Foo Fighters record. But obviously he has
Yeah.
chops. But there's a couple of Foo Fighter documentaries out there, and they kind of talk about how like Taylor Hawkins was sort of the spiritual uh, accompaniment to Dave's style of drumming, which is
Right.
bash and big, and no, I mean he doesn't hit as hard as Dave does, which is weird, or he didn't anyway. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I mean, Dave's kind of going through some stuff himself with that new baby. So who knows? Who knows what's going on with it? But this is from Variety. George Wendt died. He was
Yeah.
76.
Yes. R.I.P.
Local
Yeah.
Kansas City guy. Uncle to Jason Sudeikis.
Yep.
And I thought this was pretty interesting. He was nominated 6 consecutive times for Emmys for his portrayal on Cheers.
No shit.
Yeah, and he never.
Wow.
Apparently, he never won. But I grew up on Cheers. One of my favorite shows of all time. I suppose it's Matt's MASH. Mine's Cheers. But
I saw George on Broadway in 2007. He was in Hairspray.
Really?
oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. He was very good.
He does. I guess most of what he did later in life was just live stuff. Like he did.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad because he kind of was. He was in a show that was around the corner here from us. There's a live theater venue, like literally like 7 blocks away, and he did a show, and I should have gone. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yada yada yada. What else? I don't have a lot this week. This one, in fact, was sourced from Dawson. This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. Punk band releases record that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina.
Yeah.
An Australian punk band that toured with Bottle Rock headliners Green Day earlier this year has released a limited edition vinyl record infused with a scent they claim smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's private parts, titled "Emoji question mark." The scratch and sniff vinyl for
I'm
private.
so delighted by that whole fucking article. It's so funny.
The band's name is Private Function, and
Yeah.
they're releasing, inspired by the Goop candle famously labeled "This Smells Like My Vagina," once sold by Paltrow's wellness brand Goop. The candle, which has since become a high-priced collector's item, now goes for more than $700 online.
Oh my god.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I should have bought one for the tacky wing. Like that's such an obvious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't. This is the quote. This is potentially the greatest thing anyone has ever done, and everyone at Private Function was beyond impressed. The guitarist said, "We immediately tried to buy one, but due to the overwhelming demand, it sold out instantly. So I guess I won't get one, but that's okay." Anyway, you can find it for $96 online. $700 US dollars to smell Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina is quite frankly classist. We at Private Function think that we at Private
That's
Function
hilarious.
it is. We at Private Function think that every working class person deserves to have access to that smell 24 hours a day. So I will be adding them to my listening list. So anyway, those are my headlines.
Very good. I did not have a ton. Not a lot of crazy shit happened. This is like kind of just a normal crazy week. So not a lot. But I got like half kind of fun, kind of wacky, kind of,
Okay.
Yeah.
hey, what a crazy
Good
world
mix.
we live in. Yeah. And then I've got some serious shit to talk about. So we're going to go
I knew
light.
it.
We're
I
going to
knew
go
it.
light, slide into heavy. So we're going to end.
Okay. I like
so
that.
we're going, this one comes from CTV. I believe that's a Canada Television Network. Great broadcasting company. Every dog is entitled to one bite. Tribunal rules denying woman $5,000. So basically, there was a lawsuit that I think this happened in. What was this in? Where did this happen? I thought it was New Zealand, but maybe it was Canada. Anyway, anyway, their little Australian Shepherd bit someone, and the tribunal, which I think is like kind of the equivalent of a jury, they basically came to the ultimate result that they're like, hey, he's the first person you bite. Every dog gets a bite. I like this.
I
This.
do
Very
too.
I like
rational.
that too.
It was only
Yeah.
like $4,800
Give it a
in
pass.
damages, and they just dismissed it. They said, "Yeah, British Canada, British BC." But yeah, no. So the miniature Australian Shepherd,
British Columbia?
British Columbia. That's what I was
Okay.
trying to think of. God damn it, British Canada? No, Columbia. Yes.
It's, so many
Or
Aussies.
before Christ. I don't know. I get them mixed
Before
up.
Christ, Devil's Cool. Yeah. Against Christ, Devil's Cool. Sorry.
So a mini Aussie is about this big. Like, imagine
So
an
that's not gonna damage much. I mean, it can do
No,
some damage,
no,
but it's
yeah.
not gonna. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I would say an Aussie, if it bit somebody, it was probably trying to help them in some way.
It says that it was a superficial abrasion, which means it wasn't even a goddamn cut.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
It was a
Yeah.
superficial abrasion, but she did have to get a tetanus shot.
It's a good band name. Superficial.
It's superficial abrasion.
We opened for them in '96.
Oh man,
I knew it.
They were so underrated in the new metal game.
They were,
Ridiculous
really.
how much.
Ahead of it.
They really were. Them and Helmet. Just
Memories.
Really unappreciated.
Memories.
But yeah, no. So anyway, British Columbia, very understanding folk. If you get up there. This just a continuing update. Representative Lord Boebert and Kid Rock reignite dating rumors.
Oh, my.
Ooh, spicy.
With cozy rodeo picture.
Oh, God.
They attended a rodeo together, which is fucking shocking.
That's mega
Yeah.
for like fucking fine dining.
It really, oh my God.
Got horny watching the barrel races. Yeah, those two.
And she's
Those two
like,
kids.
there's photos of them, and apparently they're hanging out. One can only hope they breathe.
Bedazzling each other's jeans.
Really,
in many ways.
there are definitely some bedazzle. She's got like,
I never want to see those photos.
Cowboy. I was just on page 6 already, so I have to look.
Sorry, Smith.
It's the dive I take for the team. But yeah, just really disgusting. That
I like it. She's like, oh, that rodeo clown reminds me of Beetlejuice. Touch my tits. Like.
Yeah, you can't take her to the movies. That one.
No, you gotta be careful.
Like, the kid was probably like, "What am I going to do for a second date? Like, I can't take her to the movies. I've already been to the rodeo."
Well, Beetlejuice is on Netflix, so they can Netflix and tits, I guess.
Gross. Just like MAGA all over the place.
So gross.
Oh, really is. Sticky with MAGA-ness. Anyway. What happened to you, article? You turned into an ad. God damn you. This comes from Haggerty. 6 Wienermobiles set to hit the Brickyard ahead of the Indy 500.
Yeah.
So the Indianapolis 500 is happening this weekend, Memorial Day. It's a big deal. It's sold out, which means they show it rather on the television, because they actually you can't watch it on TV if it's not sold out, which is fucking ridiculous. But
that is ridiculous.
So we get to watch the race, as it's called, the race. All kinds of events have been going on. The city has been busy as shit all month long, just through everything. But now there is going to be I believe it's actually tomorrow. 2 p.m. I'm guessing it's on ESPN 4. And you can see the Chai Dog versus the New York Dog versus the Slaw Dog versus the Sonoran Dog.
Oh, wow.
Versus the Seattle Dog, and then whatever number 6 is, I can't see the images.
I really want to watch this.
I think I'm going to. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's going to be about noon?
Noon for you,
one for me. Yeah, about noon o'clock tomorrow, so you should check it out.
Okay.
I will send you a link if I find it.
Yeah. Send a link. My friends Twig and Charlotte and I, if we see a Wienermobile in the wild, we constantly send each other pictures or video.
I had the privilege of like following a Wienermobile in traffic for miles, and it was an amazing experience. Like,
I bet it was. I don't blame you at all.
Like, I was just like, what if I rear end this thing? Like
They're
what
magic.
if I like that is an insurance claim one looks forward to filing.
That is true.
Yes.
Well, here's what happened.
I rear-ended a wiener.
I rear-ended a wiener. There we go. There we go. I guess it's better than the alternative. Anyway, now we're going to go from the ridiculous to the sad. James Comey is back in Trump's crosshairs. This time it's different. So I don't know if you saw this. This is the stupidest fucking story.
The seashell thing?
Yes. So if you missed this somehow, he took a picture. He and his wife were on a beach somewhere, and somebody out of seashells wrote in seashells the phrase 8647. And James Comey posted this to Instagram and was immediately accused of trying to assassinate the president. By, like, the head of the FBI, the Justice Department, Trump himself, Don Jr. got out there saying, he's trying to kill my daddy. Just insanity. Because, like, the term 86, like, it doesn't mean that to begin with. And that's kind of what he said. He's like, no, he means to leave off something. It's like to go back to the hot dogs. There's my transition.
There you
86 the mustard, which is like the most classic example of that. And so again, like the Secret Service showed up to his fucking house and interviewed him.
So ridiculous.
This is the scary shit. Now, if you don't remember, James Comey was our great white hope in 2017.
Yeah.
Everything was going to be okay. Trump was going to prison. This dude's got it.
No.
And then fucking nothing. No, absolutely didn't have it. Absolutely didn't have it. And so
giant disappointment.
And so anyway, he got a visit from the Secret Service, and again, he didn't do it. He just took a picture of it. And so I guess be careful what you Insta, because
yeah, I mean, if you're on a watch list, that's like, I mean, you don't know how to get. I mean, you might get on a watch list.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's a good point, because I think this is an indication.
I'm definitely on a watch list because of my Instagrams. Just saying.
Well, I think it's a point, not realistically, for people that know that they're kind of on his shit list. I hate to say it, but they're like, hey, don't make yourself known, because they're looking for any goddamn excuse possible to,
and
farts. Okay.
I know you mentioned this, but I mean, like 86 is an old, like, it's an old restaurant term. It's like 86 the potatoes.
Yes,
they're not good. You know, like I mean, it's a culinary thing. You know, so it's
I mean, even if somebody had spelled out murder President Trump slowly in seashells and he took a picture, still okay. Like, like that's like you have to actually show the ability and intent for it to be a legitimate. So anyway, fucking stupid. Anyway, there's going to be like one of these a week. So that's this week. Fucking stupid. The other kind of big political thing, which I've been trying to follow without vomiting, is Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Yep.
Tax bill just has gone through a couple of late night hurdles, but he gets them there, and it's like, how does he do it? How does he whip these people into shape? He fucking threatens them. That's what happens. He fucking threatens them until they do what he does. It's a horrible bill. It cuts, I think, anyway. The article that
it's like 8 million people plus from Medicare, right?
Yeah, and like work requirements for Medicare, all these kind of things. They say they're not, and say not only that though, is like it costs a ton of money that's not coming in, and so it's going to put us in a huge deficit.
Even more so.
Conservative Party, Republican Conservative Party. Just a reminder, they don't believe in shit anymore. Anyway, so this article was from Unheard. U.S. bond sell-off is creating a debt spiral. So the bond market, which I don't know a whole lot about the bond market, but I know it's an indicator of stability. And it's kind of like basically, hey, you're investing in the future sustainability of the U.S. government. Going to shit, like completely going to shit. Like the United States Moody's dropped the credit rating this week. This is going to just exacerbate that. Not a word it's one of those words you don't get to use a lot, and so you're a little rusty by the time you try to use
you
it.
got it.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Exacerbate this. Anyway.
Well,
adding it to the list.
Making it happen. So anyway, crazy shit. We'll see if it gets through the Senate. I don't think it will. I hope not. It's a terrible bill.
It is a terrible bill.
It is, and and they've got enough push in the House, but I don't think in the Senate they do. I mean, except for what's enough from Maine, who will just lay over. But the I don't know. Like it's a it's a bad deal. I mean, they're coming after Social Security next, and blah blah blah.
Yep.
All this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he has said it's funny though, because Trump himself knows that this is not that Medicaid cuts are not popular. He knows it's going to impact his folks to a disproportionate degree. And so he's actually kind of publicly, he doesn't want to do it. And so that's but he also there's not the cuts to be made to sustain the tax cuts that he wants to do. And so which is funny because it's just extending the tax cuts that he put in place originally. Anyway, it's fucking nuts. We'll see what happens. But the economy is looking pretty fucking scary for the immediate future. So the housing market is at the lowest point since 2009, post crash. That's where the housing market is right now. Interest rates are about 7.5%, and
the interest rates are fucking
insane. Yeah, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
No, it's not.
Well, I caveat that until Powell, the head of the Fed, dies. Yeah. So in about a year and a half, interest rates are going to be 0.89%. Mark my words, because Trump is a crazy asshole, and he will do that because
he will. And then we're really fucked. Yeah,
it's just we're going to have a great 5 years. Like it's going to be fun as shit. Like tyranny is going to be. You're going to have all kinds of shit under tyranny that you couldn't afford before. But our children are well and truly fucked.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. This is good news for me, but Bitcoin reached the highest level it's ever been, which is bad for the government, but sends a very clear message.
I do have to give Senator Jerry Moran credit where credit is due. I know I talk a lot of shit about the guy, but kudos to him for being one of 2 Republican senators that voted against it.
Oh, he actually got a spine on something.
A genius act, which makes me want to just vomit incessantly. Oh God, because that perfectly encapsulates the whole industry. But Democrats supported this too. Like it's
I know.
Bill, and it's insane, and it legitimizes basically billions of dollars that Trump is going to make overnight. Like just billions. It's insanity. Again, I'm looking forward to you getting a boat, Tyson. The only thing better than owning a boat is having a friend with a boat.
Can't wait.
Long term, it's near right. Like the Bitcoin's like $110,000.
It maxed at 111, which is the highest it's ever been. And I will say that we spent I don't want to get into it, but anyway, so that was I was like, okay, that's I guess. Well, it's more than anything, it's an indicator of the market, right? If people are going off grid, from the gold standard, which hasn't existed in a long time, then that means that they have no faith, and and we've got a Kenya situation where $1 million is actually $1, kind of thing. So where they just print money, and I don't know if you guys remember that, but you should look it up. Kenya inflation, it is crazy pants. Anyway, so it's gonna be a thing, and as a non-homeowner, really would like to have a home. some equity, some, my car is not equity.
Not alone.
It gets
Yeah.
it depreciates every second that it sits in the
Yeah.
garage,
Yeah.
like, and so it's just like the only thing you have is property and homes and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and it's just
I mean, very fortunate to purchase the home when I did, because like shit
Yeah. You were
changed
really smart about
quick.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you just a lot of people. I didn't think it was imminent at the time. I didn't think, oh, I've got to do this right now. It was because, quite honestly, my grandfather died and left me the down payment. Like that's
right.
that's
Yeah,
kind of how the timing
yeah,
worked out. Like, and
Yeah.
so um but it's awful right now. I mean, rent
Yeah.
wise, and like it is awful for not like in fucking Indianapolis. Like, this is one of the least expensive metropolitan areas to live in, and it's awful here. Like, it's just how, I mean, so I
I can't believe how much rent is now. I mean,
Rent's insane.
it is.
They
I
just
mean,
built a new apartment building like right across from Mission Ballroom,
yeah,
and the going rate for like a studio apartment, not even like really downtown Denver, $2,400 a month.
wow.
that's
And it's 480 square feet.
But
It's
oh my,
bullshit.
that's the thing. Like, so in all metropolises around the country, they're just building fucking apartment complexes over and over,
yep.
everywhere you see it, and
Yep.
it's basically they're betting against the housing market because they're like, well,
Yeah,
people
for
are
sure.
not going to be able, they're never going to have a home. They're never going to have a home. They're going to live in an apartment for their entire life, whatever. And so it's just it's disgusting, really. But like
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I watch. I mean, I make a point to watch Jon Stewart's daily shows every week. He does one a week,
I
and
need to catch
We
up on
watched
those.
those too. Yeah.
yeah, and he talks a lot about how like the Democrats need a Project 2025, their own version of a 2025, which they absolutely do, because you can build in things like affordable homes, and like and things like that, and like so it's I mean, my brother-in-law builds houses for a living. He builds high-end houses, him and his dad. And like during the pandemic, it was just everything increased as far as like money, went,
Yeah.
right? Like, so it was like lumber was 150% higher than it was before because they couldn't do it and all this stuff. And I was like, well, what are people doing? And they're like, they're just paying for it.
Yeah.
They're like, these people just buy it because they have the money and they know it'll pay off because they'll have the property, so it's I don't know. Sorry, tangent,
No,
but
no, no. I mean, I think you're right. I think it's a big issue. And honestly, like, the solution isn't that hard. It's like, stop allowing private equity companies to buy up all the homes.
Bingo.
I
that's
had
Bingo.
woman this
Yep.
morning call me on my walk with Howie, and I am always like, I'm usually pretty nice to telemarketers, not for those assholes to call you up and buy your house, because that is exactly what those are. Is they are just looking to purchase, and they're waiting for, they've held on, and it's worked. It
yeah,
worked. That's the scary thing, is that these housing prices probably increased, I don't know, 60% in the last decade, maybe 15 years. I mean, it's crazy how expensive housing has gotten, until that stops, until they make it illegal for, you to just buy up homes and leave them vacant until they sell, which is exactly what's happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's just something, just every time I kind of, I'm sure most of the cities that you live in, they're same ways. Like, you go to some neighborhoods, there are abandoned malls, there are abandoned
Big
shopping
time.
centers,
Oh
there
yeah.
are abandoned,
Oh yeah.
sort of executive offices. And it's like, what? Where's the balance happening here, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's when it makes more sense to build something completely new than to, so something's off. And I don't know, we're headed, I mean, but I've thought this for a while, so I don't know when the crash is coming, but when it does come, it's
Well,
yeah.
it's like so like like that crash that happened in 2008, right, with the housing bubble. Like that was like that was we had some friends, Chris Nolan, a friend of ours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean, he got fucked on that deal. He had to give up his house. Like I mean, and so that is almost certainly going to happen again. Like it's
For
because
sure.
I mean, around here they just built this huge fucking office. Sorry, it's like an office building. It's like an exec. Whatever. And I'm like, who's going to work? Like I mean, nobody. I mean, like half the people work from home now. I know they're trying to get people there, but I mean, it just makes no sense. Like like it's almost like, okay, we've been planning this for 5 years, so we just need to finish it. And then they're like, I don't know, like I don't know what to do
If
with it.
you build it, they will come. We'll make
Exactly,
them
yeah,
come. Yeah.
and they're not,
Bullshit.
as
Yeah.
much as people are trying to get people to work in the office, there's just as many people that I see on LinkedIn being like, "Hey, you don't have to come in the office," like
Yeah.
that's our caveat, like so. I don't know. Wow, that was a real serious
Well, that's all
journalism
right.
by us.
We like to get it serious every now and then.
You
We like to delve into the important shit.
Serious talk with
know,
John
Every
and
once in a
John.
while.
it,
So,
it is true. Yeah. Yeah.
we'll keep you updated. We're continuing to monitor the progress process.
I'll keep you.
On the
I'll keep.
decline of American
We're
economy and
continuing to monitor the decline of the American dream, the slow death of the American dream.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, not to keep going, but the American
No,
dream is completely rewritten now. It's just like, oh shit, I hope that I don't fucking find myself without rent money. Like that's like the American dream right now.
yeah,
yeah,
And
for
it's
sure.
like,
yeah.
oh crap. So anyway, like it's so funny because my parents like they have a house, they own a house, and I've been like, and eventually they're gonna have to move, whatever, and I'm like, should I buy the house? Like it might be the only house. And now Beth would kill herself in Waukegan, Kansas. But like she wouldn't kill herself, but she'd be complaining a
You
lot.
get that Pizza Hut. I mean,
We
that's
do have that pizza.
That's
worth
a
living
yeah.
for.
But
Yeah.
I mean, but
You're close to the big city of Hayes, America, so
like I mean,
don't talk too much shit.
you could get like 80 grand to buy a house with like 3 bedrooms, like and a basement. I mean, that seems reasonable. I don't know. Anyway, they're gonna have to sell it for healthcare. That's the way though everything works now. They will drain every penny from you before you die, keeping you alive. And that's just how it goes.
America.
Okay, sorry. Let's talk about something fun. Anyway,
All right,
Matt.
all right. Well, all right. I'm not quite ready for fun yet, but but anyway. But now, just real quick, wanted to mention you guys reached out yesterday. Jim Irsay, a longtime Colts owner and music memorabilia collector, dies at 65. We just found out yesterday afternoon. Along with everyone else, I may have mentioned we have a really, really good friend who is in the communications department at the Colts and knew Jim, worked with Jim, was Jim's public voice and has been for a number of years. And like he, had a mixed past. Like he was a drug addict, was in rehab several times, knew lots of celebrities, including Robert Downey Jr., because they met in rehab and hung out.
Mhm. Yeah.
And also, so not only in addition to kind of running the Colts, but his sort of kind of passion was basically buying every awesome guitar with your unlimited billions that you want. And like he had people that did this and but he shared his collection. He took it on the road. For the last few years, he's taken his guitar collection to a number of cities, and it's good. I mean, he's got some awesome stuff. It's like some of the when the Dylan guitar when he went live, he has that guitar. He's got Hendrix guitar. He's got he's got the Beatles piano. I mean,
when
stuff.
Dylan went electric at whatever that festival was, Westport or Newport or whatever, that's a big deal. And I remember the guy who was buying the guitars, your friend, he was saying that he was trying to buy the acoustic guitar that Cobain played on the Unplugged,
right?
And it just got too expensive.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
And
so anyway, he did a lot of really good stuff for the city. He just gave a bunch of money to develop a new dog shelter here, an animal shelter. He was, I mean, again, he had a mixed, kind of a mixed past. He got a DUI 12 years ago, just unbelievable. I as much as I enjoy Reddit, it is a bastion of fucking idiocy. And there are all these people complete, oh, he got a DUI and he told the police that he was a billionaire. It's he had an addiction problem. And one of his one of his big things that he spent a lot of time and money on was this kind of fight the stigma campaign, where just kind of being able to kind of more for this sort of kind of bias and taboo we have against addiction issues in this country, where it's just they kind of go off to the side. We don't want to talk about it. It's kind of a dark family secret, and being better off kind of visible and getting the help you need. So unfortunately passed away, only 65 years old. sad.
And his sleep apparently is what I read.
His sleep, yeah. I think he was in Beverly Hills at the time. His looks like his daughters have been kind of in the transition process for a while now to kind of run the Colts. But
I assume you guys will probably still be working with him. I would guess.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's not going to change that. I mean he still has the sort of the communication aspect for the Colts, but but he knew him and worked with him, and by all accounts really liked the guy. So anyway, sad to see. Didn't expect that yesterday afternoon.
What's his name? Sorry, it's the first name.
Steve.
I like Steve because sometimes he goes over to Kathy's house and takes a nap before he goes home, so he can has enough energy to deal with his kids. I thought that was
it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
He's a really
take a nap, but in general too. Yeah.
Don't
want people just like be like, hey, Tyson said I could nap here. It's cool.
Yeah, really cool guy. Anyway, sorry about that, man.
No. And then, and I actually ran into an article by accident. I was looking, but apparently the former Joaquini police chief faces criminal charges. I just saw here. Michael Allen Romero, can you loop us in? What I was looking for, and I couldn't find it, but on the Hayes Post, I think this week I saw that the fort is being turned
I did see that.
a country bar.
Coming full circle.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes. So they turned it from a country bar into the fort, and people are like, oh, the fort's great. It's really like kind of unlike Hayes.
Is this the axe throwing place?
Yeah. It was like Hayes has axe throwing. I was like, oh my god.
They also had a beer wall too.
They did.
Going
they
back
did have
to
a
what
beer
we were
wall.
talking about
and
before.
Now it is reverting back into a country.
To the wild road.
I hope they're gonna dust off that what was it, that cowboy fucking disco shit that they had, the disco ball. That was a literal saddle. You guys remember that?
I do remember that. I went into the Rose
good
a
shit
handful of times, and
same reluctantly every time.
Yeah, I know. It's that building's been through a lot. Do you happen to remember the Palladium? Do you remember the Palladium from like the early mid '80s? It was
I do not.
It was Hayes' hottest night spot. The Palladium.
Okay, I did not
remember. I still remember the ads on KJLS. But yeah. So I guess R.I.P. The fort. Never mentioned.
R.I.P.
You think they'll call it the Wild Rose? I think they should.
No, they did have a name
Bring
for
it back.
But I didn't. Anyway, so no news on this police chief, Tyson. Any knowledge?
I don't know his name. I know a lot of. Joaquin has a long and storied history of crooked sheriffs, and I remember at one time, my dad's like, oh, they're like, it was like, I went to high school with that guy, and he's like, what do you think? I was like, he's not very smart. And he's like, yeah, that's the general consensus. And that's basically but we just had a series of, now admittedly we were friends with one of the sheriffs, Eberly was there, and he got hornswoggled, chased out of town. Good word. And
hornswoggled is a good word.
That is a good word. Congrats.
And he got basically framed, and then because his son filled up his car at the police station where they have their own pumps, and I don't know. But it doesn't take a lot. Here's the deal, though. I can think of at least 3 or 4 different sheriffs that have tried to sell drugs that they apprehended on interstate, and almost inevitably, all of them have sold it to a KBI agent, and that's how they got caught. So I mean, not smart people, right? So anyway, and I'm sorry, whoever's going to be the next guy, but I mean, prove me wrong. There was a story about. I was going to talk about it a little bit, but anyway, I don't know much about it. But they arrested this group of youths that have been basically pranking cities around Ellis, Hayes, Joaquini, Scott City, and basically, one of the things they did was they shut off the power grid in Joaquini.
Damn.
And I was like, why? And Mom's like, I don't know. I was like, were they trying to steal something? And she's like, I don't think so. They just were fucking with people. And anyway, they basically caught these guys. There's 7 kids. They're all under 18. right?
Wow.
And they've been doing this for 2 years, and so I will report on that as I learn more about it. But they are finally been caught, and like resisting arrest and a bunch of minor charges, but a couple of major charges. And
Interesting.
yeah, so but anyway, yeah, like if you don't, like eh, being a sheriff in Joaquin is not a great deal. It's just,
Doesn't sound like it.
but I mean, just you obviously are like, well, I could sell all this cocaine, or I could just do it all. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's it.
Yeah. No, it's
I,
funny you mentioned that because, like, in the 90s, we may have discussed this before, but in the 90s, they had the largest amount of drug seizures in the nation
yeah,
for like 2 or 3 years straight.
yeah.
And you want to know why? Because they were doing it without due process. And basically, they would just pull
Shocker.
anyone who they thought was probably had drugs on them over, and they did it all the time. And so, yeah, they do have kind of a storied history there.
They do, and they work with the highway patrol, but at the same time, I mean, it's just it's goofy, and everybody fucking hates. Like, I guess that sheriff that I did hear about that sheriff. Apparently, that sheriff has been. My dad was mentioning this. He didn't say that he was in trouble, but he said that basically what he does is he camps out and like just waits for people to go over 30 mile an hour and then pulls them over and like so anyway he's getting chased out of town essentially because he's
Okay,
a
all right.
dick.
Well, that's good. We don't need people like that.
No,
We don't
No.
need
he'll
people
just
like
go
that.
and be a sheriff somewhere else. That's just what they do. They
I think
relocate.
it's this. This is why everyone in Hayes, Kansas, drives 2 miles under the speed limit wherever you go. I think that's why.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's true.
It is
It's
just
true.
everyone drives like get to 35 maybe. All right, those are my headlines.
Hey,
Very
Wait,
nice.
thank
I will go through mine real quick. Tyson, this is your 18-minute warning.
oh,
no, that's
sorry.
fine. It's
Yeah,
fine. Go, go.
yeah.
Somebody's got a hard stop. All right. Bill Maher's uncancelable podcast studio shuts down. This is from Radar Online.
Uncancelable.
Yeah. Which, if you listen to Bill Maher, I stopped about 2 years ago.
I stopped about 10 years ago.
Consistently. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just a piece of shit.
he is. Yeah.
He's had this dumb ass podcast called Club Random where he thinks he's a cool guy drinking and smoking, fucking getting high with his celebrity friends. Anyway, he made this whole bullshit a couple years ago that basically saying we're doing it for the fans, they're never going to cancel us, this is going to go on forever because the people need it. Bullshit. Close after 2 years. Fuck you, Bill, again. A lot of it is because of his recent backing of Trump, which is hilarious,
Right.
and really stupid and scary, and just goes into the fact that Bill Maher sucks furthermore. So anyway, great news there. In more great news, this is from The Guardian. Sesame Street saved by streaming
Yay.
deal with Netflix.
Yay.
I saw
Yay!
that. Yes.
I love Sesame Street. I watched it all the time when I was a kid. All my friends' kids watch it. My nieces watch it. Like, it's just, you need Sesame Street. So thank you, Netflix, for saving the day.
I thought it was very interesting because before Max canceled them, they had pretty much completed the entire season, the upcoming season. And so basically they were like, well, they were doing that thing where they, like kill something to save tax money and blah, 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 all that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I do like what Netflix does though, because Max would do an episode and then a week later it would be aired on PBS. Now it's same day, both days.
Same day. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
And I think they're going to start airing them later this year, according to the article. So excellent news. Very happy about that. This is my last headline. This is from the Denver Post. Colorado man hit in the eye by foul ball sues Rockies, in part blaming team's poor performance. I highly recommend everyone read this. It's so funny, and I'm getting a pop-up right now. But basically, this fucking idiot, he was sitting in the luxury box, got hit with a foul ball, wasn't paying attention, and then he has sued the Colorado Rockies, even though it states in stadium policy that, they're not responsible for injuries.
Yeah.
So he's trying to find all these different loopholes. And basically, like the loophole that he found is because of their poor performance, they haven't, given any money into the structure of Coors Field. And it's just the article goes on from there. It's really funny how far this guy is going into it, but I found it hilarious that he's blaming the actual performance of the Rockies, and that circles back to last week. So,
Yay.
yeah,
Good,
check it
good,
out,
good
everyone.
continuity. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is it. What's the
Very
last
nice.
one?
Plugs. Plugs.
Plug it up, Tice.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Murderbot on Apple Plus. It's a kind of a sci-fi comedy thing.
We watched the first one last night. It wasn't bad.
No, I like it, and actually, if you watch the second one, it gets a lot more engaging. You
Okay.
you get a little bit more into what's going on.
It kind of reminded us of Orville a
Yeah,
little bit, like the humor.
apparently it's based on a series of books, and apparently, from what I read, that it's very true to the style of the books. And she's
Okay.
the girl the woman who wrote it. She's an executive producer. So,
Okay.
a few hours ago, I went and saw this movie called Final Destination: Bloodlines. Now, full disclosure, I've never seen a Final Destination movie before, but it got a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like, whatever. I got to get out of the house. So, anyway, it is quite good. It's
Okay.
a series of set pieces where something bad is going to happen, and they're all shot exceedingly well. The opening is amazing, and even the story isn't that bad. There's a little bit of emotional heft to it, but I I liked it a lot more than I thought. But if you like a fun horror movie, I will say that 6 teenagers were sitting in front of me, and at first that was annoying because they were just talking and chatting. But seeing it with teenagers and hearing them gasp and laugh and scream, lots of fun. Yeah, so it's hard to recreate that in real life, but anyway, it's definitely worth watching. You'll have a good time, and it is pretty funny actually. And then so we finished on our trip back to Waukene. We finished The Bad Popes, which I plugged last week, which is excellent, by the way. And then we started a new, which is relatively new. It's Philomena Kunk, The World According to Kunk. It's a new audiobook that she put out,
Oh, I gotta listen to that. Okay.
and she
I
basically
love her.
she's basically she's doing all of history. So
Oh my God. Excellent.
yeah, no, it's quite good. And oh yeah, so this is a weird plug, but so this band is called Football Head.
Okay.
Okay, so the name of the record is called Overthinking Everything. I believe it's their first record. Um, what's interesting about this record is if you got into a time machine and went back to 1995 to 1997, you would think this is a brand new kick-ass era appropriate alternative band.
Okay.
So, first song kind of reminds me of Sugar. Second song, Blank. Third song, like maybe a little bit of. Anyway, it's basically a love letter to 90s alternative.
Okay.
And
And it's called Football Head?
that's the name of the band, Football Head.
Okay.
And the name of the record is Overthinking Everything. And it's pretty good. I mean, here's the Chicago band are immune to lulls, and this tune flirts with emo, power pop, and stadium-sized alt rock. Think Jimmy World, but sweeter, or Blink 182, but better.
Oh, nice.
I don't
Okay.
think I
I
don't
like
think
all of those.
I don't think it's that good, but I do like it. And just for fun, I've been going back to some records, and I wanted to plug this in case anyone's never heard this. This is called the Green Album, and this is a collection of covers of Muppet songs that indie rock people have done.
Oh,
So
that's an adorable cover.
OK Go did the opening theme song. Weezer and Haley Williams did Rainbow Connection. The Fray did Mana Mana. My favorite song on this record, Moving Right Along by Alkaline Trio.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
good. Anyway, My Morning Jacket, Amy Lee, The Airborne Toxic Event, Andrew Bird, Matt
Love him.
Nathanson did I Hope That Something Better Comes Along, which is perfect actually for him. And then there's a couple other people I don't even know. So anyway, it's been out for a long time, but But anyway, you can find it on your streaming site of choice, and or probably, I'm guessing, YouTube. Anyway, so those are my plugs this week.
Very
Very
nice.
good.
Smith?
Yeah, I have a handful. First is on Netflix. I think it came out Wednesday. It's only been out for a few days. Called Secrets We Keep. It is about I think it takes place in some Norwegian country like Denmark or Sweden, or it's one of those Netflix dub shows, but like exceptionally well done. And I almost wonder if they didn't use like AI to like match up some of the dialogue, because it looks
Maybe.
really
Yeah.
good. Like it looks, you won't notice, except for like all the women are like 9.5 feet tall. That's the only clue that you would have that it was not an American made film. But no, really good. Without getting too far into it, just about these kind of very wealthy, sort of, I don't know, kind of bitchy, like wealthy people and their au pairs. The kind of people that have au pairs. I guess that's the
There you
easiest
go.
A to B. Anyway, one of the au pairs disappears, and it's this basically huge whodunit. I think it's like 6 or 7 episodes. They're 30 to 40 minutes, real quick watch. We got through the whole thing in a sitting, and yeah, it's quite good. There wasn't a whole lot else on Netflix at the moment, so we went for it, as we often do. We went for it. So it's working, Netflix. Congratulations.
I think that Pee Wee Herman thing is going to be on Netflix with you.
That was my pre-plug. Is that comes out tomorrow night? I'm exceptionally excited about it.
Me
It's
too.
gotten incredibly good reviews. I think it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes currently. You've got to be an asshole. I haven't even seen it yet, and I know you're an asshole if you don't like that movie. So really, well, do it. I was a huge Pee Wee Herman big adventure and the TV show when I was growing up. Just such a unique unique persona and unique just guy, and I think it kind of delves into his personal life, which I don't think a lot of people knew much about
Yeah.
until this. So it's kind of going to be fascinating to kind of see the other side of Pee Wee Herman. And then my last plug and my strongest plug, I wholeheartedly endorse. This came out on Apple TV this week, and it's called Deaf President Now. It's a documentary.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list. Okay.
So good, so good. One of the best documentaries I've seen in years. Premise is that there was this college, I think in the United States, the only college explicitly for the deaf in the nation, called Gallaudet. I don't know, it's French, so how can I, anyway, something with some T's and some G's and some H's and some A. And anyway, university, and basically they had been established. They'd been around, I think, at the time of the documentary. It took place, I believe, in '88, somewhere around there, and it follows the process of them, the board electing a hearing enabled president, and the students are like, why can't we have a deaf person be the president of this university? It's been 114 years. And there's, at the center of this story is just like this vapid, like Reagan era, like lady, just dripping with gross wealth and indifference, and it's fantastic. It's so good. I think it's about an hour and a half long. So good. It's just about how these kind of students revolt and take control of their university. They start like really dictating who could get in and how they closed it down. And you'll have to watch to find out what they used to say at the end of the Reading Rainbow reviews. It was something like, find out yourself. And anyway, sorry, Lamar, I don't remember, but anyway, really good. Like I said, one of the better documentaries I've seen in a long time. So highly watch it. Highly recommend it. Apple TV.
Cool.
Sweet. Done and done.
Yeah, I saw it. Looked good.
I got a couple of plugs. First one, season 2 of Shrinking on Apple TV. I really like it. I'm halfway through it. I love the first season. Second season isn't as good as the first season, but I still enjoy it. I really haven't watched a ton of new stuff this past week, so that's really the only plug. Other than happy birthday to Morgan Moore. Her mom and her aunt listen to the show frequently. Morgan's like one of my little nieces. I can't believe you're a decade old. Hopefully your mom will pause it and play that. So anyway, love you, girl. I'm so proud of you. That's it. Those are my plugs.
Don't play her.
Not a lot.
Please don't play her that babysitting joke. Please, God's sake.
She's got some adult humor.
Okay, well,
I will say for a 10-year-old, it's kind of scary actually sometimes. So
any unplugged this week?
I did not have one. No, I'm sure I consumed some media that sucked.
Yeah,
not
I don't have one either.
You know, there is.
Weeds.
I do have one. There is this is a good place for this because I was listening to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. As I sometimes when I wake up in the morning and shower, I want to hear good vibrations. It gets me going in the morning. I don't know why, but it kept playing, and I forgot that he had actually done a cover of The Wild Side by. What was that guy's name? Al or Lou Reed.
Lou Reed, really?
Walking on the Wild, yeah. And if you get the moment to spare 5 minutes on Spotify, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, I'm definitely going to do that.
It is. Wow. It is. Mark Wahlberg at his finest. That's all I can say. So that is my unplug. Is to anyway, check that out.
My unplug is just the nachos and queso, or sorry, the nachos and the salsa at Rosie's in Joaquini. It's paste pecani sauce and like the cheapest, roundest chips you could possibly have. So, but their wings are quite good, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Sorry.
And now I'm going to go to a dog class, and I will report on that tomorrow or next week.
Yay!
Oh, very nice. Can't wait to hear. Yeah. All right. Well, always a pleasure, guys.
Always.
Bye.
I don't have a closing bit tonight. I had an opening bit. I don't know if you remember it.
For shame. Yes.
You can do it again, but in reverse. Do it again.
Right. Ooh, nice. Do it. All right.
There we go. Now they're ready to be
Please don't cut anything.
Little jackass for you. Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.